Before we begin, thank you very much to Bigger Than a Microchip But Smaller Than a Scraplet Convoy for pitching in over on Ko-fi. I'm wrapping my head around that. Scraplets are actually pretty big. Like, scraplets are like, geez, it's like what would equate to like a softball size to you and I. They'd be like this big. Microchip is this small. So we're talking about like maybe like, I don't know, that big? Like, I don't know, like tangerine sized? I know that's a very odd and specific one, but thank you very much for pitching in. Thank you very much for the contribution that helps keep the channel going and keeps me making silly intros to these videos. We are here today to discuss the finale of Transformers Wild King. So, as you recall, Takara did the exact same thing as America, where they decided, let's just do a 5-minute episode micro series on YouTube, and then we will promote a toy line with it. And while Cyberworld has gone for creating what seems like very much a small, short-form Transformer series, Wild King very much feels like a cheaper Transformer commercial more than anything. Show off what all the toys do. We don't even need to animate mouth flaps. We can just, like, shove it out. Shove it out as quickly as we can. But that said, I was still curious about the story because there are aspects to it that I find interesting, and it does kind of expand on the overall Transformer universe with new planets, new possibilities, etc. So I wanted to see how it wrapped up. I wanted to see where it went, especially because I love the toys so much. Well, in all of their infinite wisdom, Takara decided that the first 8 episodes would be available to everyone in the world. Actually, first 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, first 9 would be available worldwide, but the final 5 episodes that feature the final villain, those would be region locked to Japan, leaving most without a way of actually watching it. So for those who do not want to buy a VPN or fly to Japan just to watch 5 episodes of a micro series, I'm just going to run through everything that happened. Now, once we get into those 5 episodes, the visual quality of my examples is going to drop. I do apologize for that. There's only so many ways of watching it right now, so it is what it is. But as a quick little recap, when we last left, Optimus Prime had just lost a battle to a fully formed Ultimate Wild King Megatron, and upon blacking out after the battle, found himself in his own mindscape battling Nemesis Prime. But thanks to power of friendship, he manages to overcome the threat, which turned out to be this unknown danger. We did not know who it was at the time. It's just this big, spooky, black and purple dragon. So that was what's happening on the Autobot side of things. For Megatron, the final episode that we could see in America easily featured him and Captain Volca when they flashing back to when they first encountered each other and Megatron first essentially asserting dominance over the dinosaur tribe. But in the middle of reminiscing, Megatron also has this flash of going to a dark black color scheme, very akin to the Nemesis Prime we had just seen in the episode prior. So you already start to figure out what is being pieced together here in the plot. So recall, in the first episodes of Wild King, Optimus Prime and Megatron referred to each other as friends. That was before they went down to this planet to investigate elemental energy that could possibly be used to help Cybertron. They were working together. It was a good guy Megatron story. But here, they started battling after they got onto the planet because Megatron just went aggressive, and we're starting to figure out why. So, from here on out, we're going into the unknown episodes. And that starts with them running into the leader of the Beast Tribe, which I am shocked Japan wrote a story where there's a red lion who is not the leader of something. Not since Voltron has this happened. It is extraordinarily rare. As it turns out, the final member of this team, Sky Report, the flyer of the Beast team, he's the leader. And rightfully so. Sky Report is like devastatingly powerful compared to his teammates. to the point where it takes 2 wild dockings just to match his wind elemental strength. He's basically testing Optimus Prime. He's not going to let Optimus take control of his tribe or be willing to work with him until he proves himself. And the strength in combat is not what does it. What does it, and what earns Sky Report's respect, is when the attacks threatened the other members of the Beast Tribe and Optimus stepped in to take the hit. Protecting his allies, protecting his friends, that earns you Sky Report's respect. So, because we're here to sell toys, we waste absolutely no time. We get to see full Ultimate Wild King Optimus Prime. Now he has a big flight pack too. And we're wasting no time. So Sky Report is the one who drops the name of the villain, World Dragnus. And the importance of getting to the elemental shield, the thing that is supposedly going to contain this great energy source, it's important to get to that before Megatron, blows the whole thing up, because that's exactly what he's there to do. So, under that mindset of there is some great power beyond this barrier that looks like one of the incoming games from Reboot, but also a little bit of evil influence going on as well, all it really takes is one shot from an ultimate wild docking to actually break through this thing. Oh, and big surprise, it's World Dragnus inside. Most anticlimactic box opening ever. I mean, who would have thought the big bad guy who's been influencing Megatron to accomplish this goal was actually the one trapped inside the box? Gee, I wonder why. I wonder how that happened. So yeah, we have our big villain. He looks amazing. I'm always a sucker for a dragon transformer, but this dragon transformer is also black, gold, purple, and maroon. He looks amazing. He's got chains hanging off of him. He's got extra dragon heads hanging off of him. Like, he is very Final Boss coded, and I love it. So, when World Dragnus first breaks free, it seems like he takes his influence, that little aspect of him that possessed Megatron back, because Megatron starts remembering how he came to the planet in the first place. And it seems like he went through a very similar trial to what we just saw Optimus Prime go through with Nemesis. The difference is Megatron was alone, did not have a team to rally him, and thus he succumbed and was actually taken over by World Dragnus' influence. I wasn't kidding about the power of friendship earlier. That's literally the only difference between these two encounters. That is how Optimus won and Megatron did not. But yeah, we do confirm that everything we have seen in the series so far has been under World Dragnus' influence. This has not been Megatron at the helm. But now it is. And we do get a clash. And whether it is just Megatron being weak from the exertion of World Dragnus' influence and leaving his body, or because, he's just not as prepared for this battle, he gets beaten pretty easily. Does not look good. There's actually a few cool scenes in here. So to even show that the influence has left him, when the wild docking breaks and it's just 6 robots on the ground, Megatron actually tells the team to flee as Dragnus is about to attack again. So there's actual concern for his comrades here. So this is not the same Megatron that was actively fighting everyone in his sight before. And before Dragnus can deal the final blow, Optimus does the Optimus thing. He gets in the way to go into the fight himself. And to be fair, he puts up a far better fight than Megatron. Again, I don't know if that's because Prime is fresher, or if his wild docking is just stronger because he's more accustomed to having help and allies and all that. But for whatever reason, this is working better. He's actually fighting Dragnus to a standstill. And then Dragnus transforms. So that's the thing, like, Dragnus has been in beast mode this entire time and has still been able to stand up to a fully combined Megatron. So this is this is, again, final boss coded, second form. We do get just a little bit of backstory as well. As it turns out, it was the 5 elements that created the elemental shield in the first place, and thus why Dragnus needed someone who could actually harness the 5 abilities and use them against the shield to free him. Hence why he was waiting for someone like Megatron to come along, who could easily be possessed and easily do his bidding. So, yeah, Megatron's just kind of a sucker in this whole event. He just has to play the punching bag here. There is another fight, and the fight itself, admittedly, is mostly just kind of showing off the tricks the toy can do. So, like, it shows him breaking off his minions for a transform, so he has like a 3-pronged attack now. In robot mode, he is matching and beating Optimus Prime, by the way. But we have a very burning justice moment type thing, where Optimus Prime just doesn't stay down. Where it was like Megatron took a few good hits and the combination broke apart. Optimus Prime is not surrendering. This is just like grit and determination to not let Dragnus win at this rate. What's cool about this scene is that there's actually a really cool moment where Megatron actually jumps in and grapples Dragnus from behind in an attempt to actually give Optimus Prime the chance to land a really strong blow. And to his credit, he does. Now, it's not self-sacrifice. Megatron is okay afterwards. But it is this moment that lets Optimus Prime see that the bot he called his friend during the first scene of the show might actually be back, to his surprise. So it's probably very confusing to be Optimus Prime in this scene, because he has no idea Dragnus was in control this whole time. There's no time to really explain that here. So he's just kind of going with it. Go with it they did. I mean, they kicked him into the side of a volcano. That usually does the trick. Except this is still the final boss. It is very much JRPG rules. Who here wants a third form to the boss fight? Who wants a third form? Because once again, remember, it is a show all about showing off toy lines. So now we see World Dragnus repossessing Megatron and wild docking with him. It's almost as if he said he saw Optimus Prime standing toe-to-toe with him because of wild docking, and then decided, you know what? I like that. I like that. What's good for the goose is good for the dragon. Give me that now. I'm going to combine with Megatron. So there. So we have wild docking, like, it's going to be something like crazy name. I haven't looked it up. It's like Dragnus Shadow Megatron, something akin to that. It's crazy looking. I'll give it that. It's a really wild look. Makes me glad I actually bought those repaints just for the sake of getting more of the little beast figures. And again, no surprise, he's even stronger. So once again, he's in control of the fight. Once again, he is just overwhelmingly strong. To this point, it has all been Optimus and the Beast Tribe facing off against him, but this actually is the first thing that forces the combination to break. This is what actually starts injuring some bots. To their credit, the Dino Tribe actually does still hold their respect for Megatron. They do a valiant attempt to get World Dragnus to leave their ally. Doesn't work. They get blasted for their efforts. Most everything is a blast, by the way, because big Dragon Ball Z energy beams are a lot cheaper to animate than physical fights. So that's how that goes. But in the midst of Shadow Megatron trying to finish off the dinos, Optimus does the Optimus thing again. For the third time during the course of this video, during the course of these 5 episodes, he jumps into the path of an attack and takes the blow for the ones he was trying to protect, because that's Optimus Prime, right? He's going to protect everybody in need, even if they used to be an enemy. Transformers Wild King is a 14-episode, 5-minute per episode series, right? You're dealing with what? You're doing what? Like a total runtime, the length of a movie? And yet this series that was solely designed to be as cheap as possible to sell toys seems to understand Optimus Prime better than most of the live-action movies? It's kind of wild to think about. That's not a pun. Oh my god, I just realized I was accidentally a pun. I apologize. I'm not happy about that. I don't like that. It tastes bad. But a little bit of self-sacrifice seems to get you a long way in this series, because now the Dino Tribe is on board with Optimus. So now we have our first wild dockings that are between multiple members of each tribe. And this is, again, somehow more powerful because it's Dragon Ball Z rules. Every time we get a new form, it has to be more powerful and it has to be shown off. And we get into the final battle now, where World Dragnus is incredibly powerful, and this is very Dragon Ball Z. It's a lot of elemental attacks, it's a lot of beam weapons. But the cool thing about this is Optimus is constantly switching wild dockings. And just swapping in different parts to create different weapon combinations. And it's always a mix between Dino and Beast, which gives you this really neat little arrangement. Like a last-minute showing of, oh, hey, by the way, we also do the Scramble City thing, where anyone can be anything on this torso, which is kind of cool. About time they got around to it, but it's cool they finally showed it off. So, at the beginning of the series, we were given the prophecy of that both tribes were waiting for a hero who would destroy the evil on the planet. And this is kind of the moment where the Dino Tribe realizes they backed the wrong horse, and maybe prophecy spoke of Optimus Prime, because of course it did. Why would we do anything interesting and actually say, no, Megatron was the prophesized hero, and he's going to be the one who defeats the evil? Can't have that. That might be interesting. But no, the battle gets kind of cool as he starts switching between weapons, starts switching between arms and legs, and starts gaining different attacks. And again, they fight Dragnus to a standstill. They actually force him back into his own personal little, like, shield bubble while he preps for one more big attack. Optimus decides not to let them, because now that all of the tribes are united, now we get to throw a spirit bomb at him in the shape of Optimus Prime's axe. So now all the wild docking energy is going into this energy version of Optimus Prime's axe weapon, and everyone is contributing energy to it. Even the rest of the planet. Did you think I was kidding about the spirit bomb? Like, it literally goes to all these different sites on the planet and shows the little sparkles of energy rising up. Once again, the power of friendship will kill all. You know, and to be fair, does work. You're copying Kamen Rider Wizard by having a gigantic axe slam down on your enemy to destroy them. But yeah, it's a really big attack. It destroys World Dragnus completely. And coincidentally, luckily, I don't think we thought this out, but it happened to work out that way, Megatron actually survives the impact. Yay. So World Dragnus is defeated, and we get this really nice moment where Optimus and Megatron fist bump. We're all cool again. You know, this is Megatron back to being Optimus's friend. Everyone, all the tribes are getting along and everything's cool. But where is Abyss Rain? Why is Abyss Rain not in this shot? Oh, we're going to cut to Abyss Rain standing far in the distance with evil glowing eyes, because this series actually has the balls to leave off on a cliffhanger to possibly give you a sequel. Now, granted, I don't know how well the Wild King toys sell. All I know is that all I know is I had a pre-order in for Abyss Reign at Hobby Link Japan for the last 6 months, and it is still never filled. So I am assuming the toy line sold out very, very well. And yeah, some of them have been very, very hard to go back and track down. I still have a big order to ship so I can get my World Dragness and Sky Report. But yeah, like, even me, who loves, completing collections and toys lines like this, I can't get a hold of the whole thing. So I assume it's selling well, because of course, we have the promise of more on the way. They're repainting a few of them to do, I guess, like Drag Knight versions. So if you're wondering if the toy side of things, like that little after portion of the videos, included anything special or anything world building, they really didn't. They're mostly just there to show off the toys, of course. But the finale of 14, like after the whole like cliffhanger tease, does actually show a little bit of storyline stuff where like the toy versions of Optimus and Megatron get sucked into a black hole, and the other side you have a still living World Dragness who now has minions based on their friends. And so maybe the battle continues that way, but it seems it's more like left to your imagination of like how the battle continues from here with all the new Wild King toys that are still going to come out. And if it wasn't for tariffs, I would love to get more of those, because 4 more means my Shadow Megatron can have his own team. And have like his own like 5-part combination as well. And just leave Nemesis Prime there. With the one sad beast hanging off of one arm and just waiting for 4 more to come out. But that's basically it. That's the finale of the Wild King series for anyone who didn't see it. It's very much like cheesy Japanese schlock storytelling. It's very like by the numbers, right? But I don't know. It was fun for what it was. I do like World Dragness as a villain. I love that he very literally has this like 3-stage JRPG final battle. That's actually kind of fun to me. And yeah, hopefully it did well, because this series definitely deserves more. Maybe the series did so well in Japan, we're going to get like a full series where we can actually, enjoy it episode to episode and animate the mouths, for instance. But I doubt that. But there you go. For everyone who was curious, that's how the show ended. And yeah, unless shipping gets cheaper out of Japan, I think that might be the end of talking Wild King on here. Maybe we review Dragness when I finally manage to get it in. But I gotta be in the mood to spend a lot on shipping to get him. Stay tuned. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the curiosity. I always appreciate people tuning into the weird videos. And as always, I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.